Hello and a very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I want to give you my opinion on the best 5 cities in the UK to put your money in the real estate market for the year 2023. Now, London didn't make it simply because property prices are very expensive at over £500,000 on average, and yields are very low. We are talking on average about 3.5% gross, and a lot of money will probably move out of London to the north in the future. The government and the opposition have said as much. I also considered places like Oxford and Cambridge, which are lovely, lovely, lovely cities. But unfortunately, property prices here are very expensive and yields very low. So in Cambridge, property prices are well over £500,000 on average, and in Oxford, they're nearly £500,000 on average. I also came very close to putting Leeds and Newcastle in the top 5 because Leeds property prices on average are only 245,000 and it's a thriving city, and Newcastle even better at below £200,000 on average. Newcastle really nearly made it. But here are my top 5 anyway. Coming in at number 5 is Glasgow. Now, there is no doubt property prices in Glasgow are very reasonable, on average around £175,000, and this is a lot cheaper than Edinburgh, where they are on average around £335,000. And considering salaries are similar in both cities, this would indicate that Glasgow is better value. And yields also are higher in Glasgow than they are in Edinburgh. At a stretch, you can get 7%, whereas in Edinburgh, on average, you're looking at about 1.5% less. And Glasgow has many advantages as well. It has a very good nightlife scene with pubs, clubs, and many live music venues. It has a very good art and culture scene, and there are many great shops and stores. In Glasgow, you will find a thriving jobs market across many industries, including finance, engineering, IT, oil and gas, and many more. Furthermore, although a walkable city, it has an excellent transport system, including buses, trains, and subway. And Glasgow indeed is a transport hub for Scotland. There are many international flights from the airport. And let's not forget too that there are some excellent universities in the city, and indeed it's Scotland's largest and most populous city. And the good news is that the population of Glasgow is growing. So that's good for the property market. Now, probably the best place to invest would be Glasgow city centre, where it's possible you can get yields of around 7% gross. Anyway, coming in at number 4 is Birmingham. Birmingham is actually the second largest city in the UK with a population of around 1,145,000. Property prices are very reasonable at an average of £235,000, and I think for a second city in Western Europe, these are good prices. Yields are not too bad either, at an average of around 6% gross. And the good news is that the city's population is on the rise and is set to reach 1.3 million before the year 2040. And the fact that 40% of its population is under the age of 25 is great for the rental market. Now, as a result of high student population, the postcode B29 in Selly has possibly the best yields in the city. B18 in the Jewellery Quarter and B5 postcode in Digbeth are also considered good areas to buy in the city. Now, other factors that make Birmingham a good place to buy real estate is that it has gone through a massive regeneration program, and the cityscape is almost unrecognizable from around 20 years or so ago. And Birmingham is also the UK's second biggest economy and the UK's second biggest business hub, after, of course, London. Now, it has 5 universities with more than 80,000 students, and it is in a strategic location in the centre of the country. And Birmingham Airport flies to many destinations in Europe and beyond. But one disadvantage I will say about the city is that unfortunately there is no subway here, so there's no underground in the city of Birmingham. Now, coming in at number 3 is Nottingham, and there are many reasons to consider investing in property here. Firstly, population growth. It is expected that the population of the metro area of Nottingham will grow from its current level of 800,000 to around 875,000 by the year 2035. Nottingham also has a youthful population, with 30% of its inhabitants aged 18 to 29. And full-time students account for 1 in every 8 of the population. And this is good if you want to rent out your property. Now, the average price of a property is just under £200,000, which is very, very reasonable for a UK city. And Nottingham has 2 universities which are in the top 10 for the highest number of students in a university in the UK. And this helps the rental market, and it's one of the reasons why gross yields can actually reach up to 10% plus in the city. And Nottingham also has a good transport system. By rail, you can be in London in around 90 minutes, and the city has a good tram system, and East Midlands Airport is only about 20 kilometres from the city centre. And from this airport you can fly to nearly 60 destinations. And another bonus is that the city is going through a regeneration program. Finally, the city is full of life with bars, clubs, restaurants in abundance. Now, as far as investing here, I recommend the Lenton area of the city, specifically postcode NG7, and this is right by the student area, so you're likely to get good yields here, and the city centre as well, where I think you can get good capital gains. Now, coming in at number 2 is Liverpool. According to the land registry, as is the case with all the other prices I've given, Liverpool property prices on average are only £180,000, which is more than 100,000 less than the national average of £316,000. Now, this shows just how inexpensive it is to buy property in Liverpool. And the metro area of Liverpool is expected to grow from 906,000 to nearly 1 million by 2035. And average yields in Liverpool are very good as well, at about 7% gross. Now, the city has undergone massive regeneration and transformation over the last 20 years, most notably, of course, the Albert Dock. And more importantly, in the future, the city will undergo more regeneration and investment. And Liverpool also is a very well connected city with 10 motorways within proximity. There's a good rail connectivity, and within an hour's drive, 2 airports, namely Manchester and John Lennon Airport. And Liverpool has a thriving student population, which is good for the rental market. More than 30,000 students attend university, and the city has 2 excellent universities that are recognized worldwide. And Liverpool has an excellent life scene with plenty of clubs, bars, restaurant. It has 2 massive football clubs, namely Liverpool and Everton, and a large shopping centre and philharmonic orchestra known worldwide. Now, L7, right by the Liverpool University Quarter, and L1, the city centre, are considered the best places to buy. Now, coming in at number 1 is the city of Manchester. Now, for me, Manchester is really an underrated city with lots of reasons to want to buy real estate here. Firstly, population growth. The metropolitan area is expected to grow from its current level of around 2.75 million to more than 3 million by 2035. And the city centre is experiencing a boom, an explosion in population growth. And the metropolitan area of Manchester's economy is actually bigger than the size of Wales. And many multinationals have a presence here, including Google, and IBM. Now, the upscale stores of Harvey Nichols and Selfridges also have a presence in the city. And Manchester also has a youthful population, so the median age is over 10 years younger than the national average. And the city also has diverse sectors which contribute to the local economy, including life sciences, manufacturing, finance and technology. And visitor numbers are on the increase, and internationally Manchester is only behind London and Edinburgh when it comes to visitor numbers. Manchester is well connected by train, and the airport is actually a large airport as well, flying to many destinations. And there are a lot of regeneration programs happening in the city, or that have already taken place. And Manchester too has 5 leading UK universities and 2 massive football clubs, and these are really massive football clubs, Manchester City and Manchester United. Best of all, I think property prices are very reasonable at an average of £235,000, and yields are quite good too at an average of 6.5% to 7% gross. Now, as said, with a young population and plenty of students looking to rent, yields are likely to remain quite high. Now, the best places to invest, and I think most experts would agree, are the centre or Salford. So the centre, I think, will give you probably better capital gains, and Salford is quite good for yields, and I think potentially capital gains as well. But I think there are many other areas of Manchester that are worth considering putting your money in the real estate market. And I'm confident, I think, that Manchester will do well in the future. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts. Which city would you have put in the top 5 that I haven't? Or are there any cities here that I've put in the top 5 but perhaps you would not have put in the top 5? Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you soon on the next video.